After the release of Volume 12 second year arc, Horikita's siblings got quite a lot of hate speech. Horikita Suzuna got hated because she lost against Haonami, and Horikita Manabu got hated because he is wrong about a lot of things. Suzuna is mocked for being useless and always got carried by Ayanokoji. Some people even compare her to Sakura from the Naruto series. She is basically a character who got hyped so much and yet cannot do anything on her own. The hatred towards Suzuna is irritating, but somehow understandable. However, what's causing Manabu to change from a fan favorite to the most hated alumni?
もしもスズネが俺の幻影を追うのをやめ、依存を断ち、そして自分自身に正直になって向き合うことができたなら、あいつは俺を超え、お前にとっても無視できない存在となるだろう。
First, according to some people, he was wrong about Suzuna's potential. Manabu believes that his sister holds so much potential inside her. As long as she could break free from Manabu's shadow, she could even surpass him. We later got a scene where Suzuna cut her hair, which symbolized her farewell with her old self, meaning that she is no longer just following her brother's footstep. She managed to reconcile with his brother before he left, and she promised that she would find her own path. Suzuna set a new goal for her school life. She wants to get acknowledged by Ayanokoji, which is indirectly the same as getting her brother approval. In short, she wants to graduate from Class A, and for that to happen, she needs to fight other class leaders who are clearly above her league. The second year arc is supposed to be her journey to improve herself and become stronger, but her progress got foreshadowed by Ayanokoji. Manabu believes that she has the potential, but Suzuna didn't do anything that really impressive for the whole year. She did have a few times to shine, such as when she made a contract with Ryuwen and became the student council president, but it turns out it's not enough to cover her failure. She failed to keep the class unity in Volume 5, and she got defeated so one-sidedly against Ichinose. If it's just loss, I think no one will mind it, but it's not. Ayanokoji always saves her and even becomes a scapegoat for her. In the end, they managed to reach Class A, but Suzuna hardly had any contribution on it. That's why readers start to hate her. The hatred toward Horikita Suzuna spread to her brother. Turns out, Manabu is wrong about her, and Manabu being wrong is such a letdown for people who idolize him. As if being wrong about Suzuna is not enough, readers also believe that he is also wrong about Nagumo. Manabu believes that Nagumo is a threat and needs to be stopped. He even asked for help from Ayanokoji for it. However, we rarely see any threat coming from Nagumo due to his low screen time. On the contrary, he made a great change for the school, such as the introduction of OA and the joint grade special exam. In fact, he is a better student council president than Manabu, and that's another letdown for Manabu fans.
So, is Manabu really wrong about the two of them?
I don't think so. Suzuna's student-teacher relationship with Ayanokoji is not something that could be judged quickly. Suzuna had spent 10 years of her life in solitude, and a single year is not going to change her dramatically. She is trying to grow, and failure is just a part of the journey. At least wait until the end to see if she really has potential or is just a fraud. And Nagumo is indeed a threat for regular students. He is a believer in meritocracy, which gives a lot of advantages to capable students, but he is a nightmare for regular students who just want to live in peace. He often put his ego before his classmate, which was proven in the uninhabited island exam where he chose to confront Ayanokoji instead of taking care of his follower, resulting in 15 expulsions from third-year students. And don't forget that he was willing to sacrifice 20 million points just for a fight against Ayanokoji, even though those points could be used to give another student the right to transfer to Class A. He had his good point, but he is not a good guy. I think Kinugasa actually wanted to develop him as an actual villain, but chose to abandon him at the end. Another reason to hate him is Manabu's ability himself. It might not have been a problem back in the day, but after the recent Horikita hatred, Horikita Manabu's capability started to get questioned. We know that he is a capable fighter who mastered judo and karate. He also has insane physical ability that could hold his ground against Ayanokoji in sprint. But other than that, what is he actually doing for the entire year we know him? Classroom of the Elite series was told from Ayanokoji perspective, so it's just normal that we rarely see what happens with Manabu. What we know is just that he was outplayed by Nagumo in Volume 8, and he still refuses to stop Nagumo himself but dumps that responsibility to Ayanokoji. Because his lack of feats, people start to think that he is no action and talk only. Manabu and Ayanokoji had spent quite a lot of time talking, and Manabu gave him advice that made Ayanokoji truly respect him. However, with his so-called wrong prediction, All his advice also got questioned. Maybe he just threw a random quote without any source to back it. I fear I don't have any good arguments to defend him. This is something that we need to wait and see. Even if his word turns out wrong, I still think he dropped a lot of cool lines that no one else could do. His word is so strong that it manages to change Ayanokoji. We could see that Ayanokoji from the first volume and the last volume feel like a different person. He used to be a regular student who hid his ability to experience a normal high school life. However, Ayanokoji is no longer just a regular student. He is now actively involved in a special exam and has become the center of attention because of his unusual capability. Manabu is the one who changed him to what he is now. Manabu gives him two pieces of advice that Ayanokoji should keep in mind. The first one is his Horikita Suzuna potential, and the second one is his belief that Ayanokoji is not undefeatable. Manabu assures him that even against a way stronger opponent, there is always a way to win. Ayanokoji keeps his advice seriously, and that's why he wants Suzuna to grow as a leader so she and her class could defeat him. Ayanokoji ended up need to fix Horikita mistakes again and again so they could reach Class A, which makes Horikita look more and more useless. This little project of Ayanokoji forced him to spend more focus on Horikita, which was clearly disliked by some readers. They ended up sharing a unique bond, which might be a friendship. Manabu indeed gave him advice, but Ayanokoji is the one who chose his path. I don't think it's wise to blame someone for giving advice, especially if Ayanokoji is the one who chose to accept it. Manabu might be wrong about his sister potential, but it's still not enough reason to hate someone who believes in his sister, especially if he is the one who knows Suzuna the most. Let's just wait and keep reading. There is still one more year for them to grow.
I hope we all manage to see the end in the future.